Welcome to Scrum Masters Elite _UK. Sign up now to join the exciting discussions about rugby and the development of this sport.
What has been occupying my thoughts the most is the clear divide between two camps. One side consists of Northern Hemisphere countries, led by France, who are guiding negotiations and receiving support from South Africa. The other side includes Australia and New Zealand, which are prominent representatives of the Southern Hemisphere. This division is not only geographical, but also reflects two different development philosophies. The northern side wants to protect traditional values, while the southern side seeks change to accelerate the pace, extend ball-in-play time, and even bring rugby closer to rugby league. Listening to statements from figures like Pascal Gauze-O'Reynolds, the referee manager of Top 14 and Pro D2, I can clearly sense their concerns. He emphasized that areas like scrums and set-piece situations are not just technical factors, but symbols of the sport. I completely agree with this perspective. The scrum is not just a contested ball, it embodies collective strength, discipline, and strategy.
If scrums were replaced by mauls, as some have suggested, or if mauls were allowed to be more easily collapsed intentionally, this wouldn't be a small adjustment but a fundamental change to the nature of the game that I understand why the Southern Hemisphere wants to speed up the game. In fact, World Rugby has been trying to shorten stoppages for years with measures like countdown clocks for scrums, penalty kicks, and lineouts. They also removed the option for a scrum from a penalty kick and relaxed the rule regarding a hooker's crooked throw if there's no contest. All of these changes are aimed at increasing ball-in-play time. From a spectator's point of view, this might be more attractive and more accessible to the younger generation accustomed to faster-paced games. But I wonder, if we trade away tactical depth and positional variety just for the sake of speed, will rugby still retain its unique identity? Reynolds warns that if we follow the direction supported by New Zealand and Australia, player profiles will become more homogenized, ultimately leaving only speed and skill-oriented players, like backs or midfielders. I think this is a valid concern. Rugby has always prided itself on accommodating different body types, from heavy-set forwards to agile wingers.
This is the democratization of the sport. Everyone can find a position that suits them. Another issue that troubles me is the 20-minute red card proposal. This is perhaps the most controversial suggestion. Some countries, like New Zealand, Australia, and even South Africa, are willing to implement it, while France and Ireland oppose it. I see this as a fine line between competitiveness and fairness. If a dangerous tackle results in a broken jaw for an opponent in the 5th minute, but the offending team only loses a player for 20 minutes before they can return to full strength, is that the right message about safety and responsibility? The final of the 2023 Rugby World Cup is a vivid example. When Sam Cane received a permanent red card for a dangerous tackle on Jesse Creel, the New Zealand team had to play most of the match with one player down. Despite their efforts, they lost to South Africa by just 1 point. I distinctly remember the tension I felt watching that game.
The red card changed the course of the match, but it also highlighted that player safety should always be the top priority. Statistics show that teams with 14 players still win more than 40% of the time. This shows that a red card doesn't necessarily mean a death sentence for a game. It still leaves room for opportunity but is strict enough to serve as a deterrent. I believe that if we abandon the full red card and only keep the 20-minute maximum, the disciplinary line would be blurred. Rugby has always been respected for its spirit of fair play, where players accept the rules and their responsibilities. Easing the punishment could inadvertently send the wrong message. However, I don't want to view the issue from only one side. I understand the commercial pressures, the audience demands, and the influence of television. In the fiercely competitive global sports landscape, making the game more exciting is unavoidable. I'm not against change, I just hope any changes are grounded in respect for the sport's history and core values. The goal should be to improve for development, not change for the sake of losing what makes rugby unique.
I've learned a lesson for myself as well. In life, just like in sport, there will always be tension between tradition and innovation. I've realized that not everything old is obsolete, and not everything new is wrong. What matters is understanding what we are protecting. If it's core values, then we must stay firm. But if it's just habit, we should be ready to adjust. I believe we also have a responsibility. Instead of simply picking a side, we should observe, analyze, and speak up based on our understanding. Rugby doesn't belong only to the federations or officials, it belongs to the community of those who love the sport. If we remain indifferent, important decisions might be made that don't reflect the true desires of the fans. I believe this conference is not just a debate about scrums, mauls, or red cards. It's a test of rugby's resilience in the modern era. Can the sport preserve its traditions while adapting to the modern world?
I hope the answer is yes, because true strength lies not in extreme changes, but in the ability to strike a balance. Ultimately, what I feel most deeply is the need for balance. Balance between speed and structure, between entertainment and discipline, between commerce and ethical values. If rugby can maintain that balance, I believe it will not only survive until 2027 but will thrive even more. As an observer and lover of the sport, I will continue to watch, reflect, and learn from its evolution as a living lesson on how people face change without losing themselves.
We need to uphold the core values in rugby, preserving tradition while adapting to change. Goodbye and see you again.